begun. Okay, it looks like I've lost Mark. I will get him right back up and then we'll be back on in just a second. Hang on. Uno momento. Great. Well, we'll see. Maybe I can get him here in a second. Anyway, welcome everyone. Hey, Janet Carnes, Eric Brake, Mary Vorvis, Shelley Workman, Brittany Overton, Michael Willits, Harley Blankenship, Shelley Workman. Is Shane here? Not yet, but he will be here shortly. So hang on just a minute. I'm still trying to restore Mark. Um, hold on just a moment.
Hey, everyone. Dave, I don't hear you.
All right, you
There
hear me
you
now?
go.
Okay, now I'm good. Everybody's good. Wow. All right, I'm sorry, everyone. We've been busy trying to stay ahead of this weather, and it's just not looking good at all, Marco. You know, we've been watching for any signs of positive hope in this, that maybe it won't be as bad as it looks, and it's just not there, is it?
No, it's not. Even though the most severe and tornado likely parameters are a little bit off to our north and west, if those storms get going, they'll probably come right on into our area as well.
Yeah, and that's, you know, we were hoping that that storm would to our south, and that's this area right down here, would pass on to our south, and it's just not doing it. Um, let's quickly look over at the Storms Prediction Center, and here's what we're looking like. You see this moderate risk area right here. This is what we're concerned about. If we put the tornado threat up now, Mark, we're in the hatched area. We're in that area. Talk about it.
Yeah, 10% is a likelihood of tornadoes, which is pretty high for tornadoes. And the hatched area means that anywhere within 25 miles of any given point in that area, you could see EF2 or higher tornadoes.
Yeah, and so, and then I saw in some of the Weather Service discussions, long-lived tornadoes. Did I see that
Yeah,
correct?
so long lived storms, which means probably long track tornadoes, which is what we don't want to see.
Yeah, and you know, Jacob Gibson is asking, with the warmth today and probably tomorrow, they thinking they might upgrade an area even more to the high-risk area. That may not
It,
be out of
it,
the realm of possibilities.
yeah, it could happen. It could definitely happen. Hang on one second.
Yeah, you got the chatter in the background. Like I said, we've been working on trying to get everything ready here at the facility. We've made some major stuff happen here to prepare and to get everybody ready. We've had to do some improvements on some things. We've had technicians, we've had our support people in. So we think we are ready here at this facility. We think we will withstand a hit of a tornado. The only thing would be if we can keep our internet up, and I think HES does a pretty good job on that. But I think we'll be good for power. We have a powerful generator that will take care of us. So anyway, like I said, that's the key, is keeping the internet up going. But if you have a lot of lines down and everything, we may not. Who knows?
Yeah. Stacy Epley thinking the enhanced area will expand. It is possible, but even if you're not in the enhanced area, if you're just in the slight, you could still get a pretty good hit of severe weather out of this as it goes through.
Yeah, I've turned on the counties so you can see. There's Trigg County, there's Christian County, there's Todd and Logan in the enhanced. Simpson, however, and Warren County and Bowling Green and Allen County and Scottsville are all under the slight risk right now, but you're mighty close to the enhanced. I would not put a lot of stock in that. Just so you know that it doesn't seem to matter one way or the other. You know, the severe threat is there, and it looks like a significant severe threat. Uh, we have all kinds of disturbances here. Our phones are ringing off the hook. We're trying to answer questions, and a lot of people are asking us a lot of questions. So we hope that we can keep everybody informed. Eric Brake says, grab your Ron White helmet. Might need it tomorrow. Ron White fans know the reference. I think I've seen that. Yeah. Let's see here. Murray Vorvis says, hello, Dave and everyone. Shelley Workman, hit the like button on your way in, my friends. Yes, we do need you to hit the like button. And for those of you who have just started joining us, be sure and subscribe to the channel. It makes all the difference in the world. But after this, I know a bunch of you are going to be investing in a storm shelter, and I got a special offer from, I just talked to those guys, and needless to say, their business is booming right now. Pete over at the Mid-South Storm Shelter says he has no time for anything because he's done sold 7 or 8 storm shelters today alone, and he is covered teetotally up, but he's not too covered to get your call and to get your. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we go on into the program. Shelley Workman says she likes the song. Mark, she likes your song. Yeah, I know. We're all going to get blown away.
That's the ringtone on my phone.
Yeah,
so.
the Blown Away, right? Is the name of the song or something? Yeah.
Yeah. I bounce around between 2 or 3 different ones, depending on time of year or whatever.
Well, let's look a little further at other things. I guess we'll look at COD. What about tropical tidbits? Do we need to look at that or?
Probably not. You may, depending on which model. You got to remember, we're right between models right now. They haven't quite finished up with the 18Z. Right. So COD is probably.
I haven't got my Z chart up here, so you're gonna have to decipher the daggone time. So I hate when they say Zulu time because I don't know why they can't use just plain old time. I don't know. I don't understand it. But anyway, this is a College of DuPage model depiction of the. Is that
significant the tornado parameter?
Oh, tornado parameter. Okay, Mark.
Yeah, we're looking at a different model. This is not the GFS or anything like that. This is called the NAM, which is the North American model. And it's usually useful. It's a little bit finer detail when we're in closer in for stuff when it's coming in. And they have the availability of this, the tornado parameter, which is something you don't have on the GFS and different other things. They just have the supercell parameter. But this is likelihood of strong tornadoes. And again, it's kind of color coded. So anything you see green is possible, but not super likely. But as you start getting up on red and purple and blue and white, the likelihood of a very strong tornado increases dramatically.
So in this shot, this is at 0 Zulu, Friday?
Yeah, that'd be 7 o'clock Friday evening.
Okay. And we move this in time, and it gets ever so closer to us. And this is pretty concerning. It's right there at the Mississippi. This is at 3 Zulu, Mark.
So if it's 7 p.m. at 00, add 3 to it.
So it'd be 10
and you
p.m.
have 10 p.m.
And here we go, getting on into, let's see, 6Z.
That should be 6, yeah.
And there we have it right over us. This is at 9Z. That would be what time?
That should be around 4 a.m.
So this is not something that's going to go away overnight. It's actually just going to continue.
They may get a little bit weaker as we get in towards morning, but we won't be out of the woods. And then if you would continue that on,
oh my goodness,
you start to see the potential for tornadoes, especially south of us, with that next round of severe weather potential coming in for Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening.
Yeah, this is 18Z right now. Here's where it looks like we have the biggest threat, and this would be at 15Z Saturday.
And that's toward morning. That's because 12Z is 7 a.m., so add 3 to it.
So
it'd be 10 a.m.
10 a.m. So 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, or Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look good, folks. I'm sorry. You're not going to be wanting to sleep in on Saturday morning this time because this is going to be rocking and rolling. It will probably have some severe storms in the area. This would be after the overnight threat. This is the Saturday morning threat, which is the second threat. And once that gets through, hopefully things will calm down and we'll be done with this thing. Right. Jacob Gibson says, I'd say if you're on the outside edge of the moderate area, just treat it as if you are in the moderate area for your safety. And I got to agree with him on that. Yeah. We pretty well practice that. He's absolutely right. We need to get Jacob to come in here and join us. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to have to hog tie and bring him in here. Denise Perry says, hi, David. Hi, Denise. Chris Beecham says, Kentucky plays tonight at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern Time Zone on the SEC Network. Yes, I'll be watching if I can stay awake. Tara O'Hare says, I'll be watching Brandon Kopic. Yeah, Brandon's a good guy. We
Yeah,
like
we know
him a
Brandon.
lot.
He's good.
We hope that maybe we can get him to stop by over here one of these days, and we'll chat him up. Amanda Wright says, I'm already on edge. Stacy Mahan Hibbs, Ashley Taylor Legate, Heather Gibbs. So the one overnight will be serious also. Yes, it will.
Yeah, the one overnight, Friday night into Saturday morning will probably be the most serious to our west. The one for Saturday looks like it could be the most serious coming up into us.
Yeah. Denise Taylor Gillespie says, hello, guys. Nikki Winter says, hello, friends. Just hopped on. What's the thoughts from McCracken County, Mark?
There's right in the middle of it.
Yeah,
just
they're going to be. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. There is no one place better than another. This is a widespread event, covers a wide area. Everybody's looking at severe weather. Shelley
the
Workman
term
says,
National Weather Service is using is a regional outbreak.
yes, which means we're not concentrating in any one area. So wherever you are, if you're in this region. And you can see, according to this, all of western Kentucky and most of western Tennessee and the surrounding states are in this. This is not going to be a very nice event at all. Yeah. Let's go over to the weather briefing that Paducah had earlier, I think, Mark. Here is
Sunny 161. They play at 11:40. Z.
Why would she ask a question like that? Just because I couldn't answer. I know what she's doing. Yeah. Trying to show my ignorance. Well, okay, I'm ignorant as far as Z time anyway. Debbie Braswell Mitchell, thanks for everything you do to keep us safe. You're welcome, Debbie. Denise Perry said hello to you now. Jacob Gibson, if I knew my wife wouldn't get mad at me for being out when the storms come through tomorrow night, I'd try and come in and help with the live stream. And we would probably welcome that, yeah. The Ultimate Sports Network. Hello, I decided to explore sports for now instead of weather, but I will start doing weather starting next year. Okay. Along with everybody else. Amanda Wright says, overnight storms for me, I don't like them. Neither do I. And Robin.
Nope.
All right, hold on. Robin Nikolakakis. Did I say it right?
Close enough.
Pretty darn close. Hello, David Mark. I don't like this report. I'm sorry, Robin. I don't like giving it. Believe me, I don't. Cassie Knight says, do you think we will move to a level 4 or 5? It's possible to move to level 4. I don't know if we'll go to level 5. We'll have to see. Level 5 is very rare. It hasn't, maybe once in a decade you'll see a high risk. But
you have to remember having a moderate risk in a day 2 or a day 3 is pretty rare.
Right.
Normally they reserve that. They don't do that till maybe the actual day, and they get a really good handle on it. So that's how confident they are that something is really going to happen with this.
Clara Carpenter says that's green, so doesn't that mean it's not going to be as bad as it was before it hit Kentucky? This is confused. Okay, she's talking about the tornado threat, Mark, and that is
it may go down a little bit, but like what we were saying, these are forecast to be strong and long track storms, so they could start off over there and still be very strong when they move into this area.
And that's for tornadoes. That's not counting. That's not talking about severe storms. That's talking about the tornadoes.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about severe storms briefly here.
Go ahead. Oh, I need to move on, don't I? Well,
that's the key messaging. Go ahead.
Yeah, the key message is that there's potential for a potentially significant line of severe storms to produce damaging winds and tornadoes as it moves northeast across the entire Quad State late Friday afternoon into early morning hours Saturday. Okay, so south winds are expected to gust from 35 to 50 miles an hour. Darn it. Yeah, I'll have to go this way. Sorry about that. So anyway, more severe storms and heavy rain are possible over West Kentucky, southwest Indiana, Saturday afternoon and evening. So what has changed? Well, the risk categories have increased, which means it's gotten worse. Let me go ahead down to the next one. Thunderstorm outlook for Friday. Some uncertainty remains on moisture and instability. The potential exists for significant severe weather with hurricane-force winds and EF2 or greater tornadoes. And you can see, this is the way it looks when it's still back to the west. The primary hazards are going to be widespread damaging winds and tornadoes. The damaging winds is going to be it's going to be something, Mark. So,
Yep.
what do you think?
Well, we already have a wind advisory for the winds outside of thunderstorms for tomorrow afternoon, starting at 1 p.m. Central Time to 4 a.m. Central Time Saturday, and that's for south winds 20 to 30 miles an hour with gusts 45 to 50.
Yep.
So that's outside of thunderstorms. Those hurricane force winds, which would be 74 miles an hour or higher, are what we're talking about when we're with thunderstorms.
Yep.
So coming out of the severe thunderstorms, then they're talking like, 75 to possibly even as high as 90 mile per hour winds out of these severe storms when they blow through.
And folks, that's damaging winds. A severe storm is at 58 miles an hour. So we're way above the severe criteria. This is way beyond that. This is a very, very, it's actually a dangerous situation. Hopefully the power will stay on. You have to be prepared for power lines down and widespread damage. I mean, we might as well face it and tell the truth about it. I'm not going to try to tell you sugarcoat it or anything like that, because you deserve to know the truth. And I'm not doing you a service, and Mark's not doing you a service if we don't tell you the truth. And we hate to give you this kind of news, but you know what? If we don't,
and we're not trying to hype it or overplay it either. Nope. This is we're using the same language the National Weather Service is using, discussing all this. So this is what they're looking at as well.
And then we move forward. This is the severe weather outlook for Saturday. As we go into Saturday, let me pull it down just a little bit. You can see most of us are still in it, at least a slight to a enhanced risk. Enhanced goes over from Bowling Green down to Portland, Tennessee, and includes Franklin, Kentucky. Clarksville's in it, Carthage, Franklin, Tennessee, Columbia, and I'm sure Nashville's in it as well. I wish I didn't have to tell you this stuff, but Saturday's going to be possibly just as bad as, and maybe a little worse for us than the overnight one. And the overnight's going to be bad enough. So I know what's going to happen. You guys are going to be worried and laying awake. And then the first clap of thunder, you're going to be looking at the window. You're going to be pulling up your local radar. You're going to be checking my Facebook page. I'm sure if it starts, I'm going to be, we're probably going to be here. We'll be on live. So you could go to sleep with us. Wait a minute. Let me rephrase that. That ain't the way it's said. All right.
Watch it there, Dave.
Watch the TV. Never mind. Just, you know how to get a hold of us and everything. So, Robert Stewart, what could happen to weaken this? Any good news to hope for? Well, I'm going to look. The only
thing that they have uncertainty about is how much moisture is going to come this far north with this. They were hoping that storm we had down to the south of us today was going to cut off some of the moisture, but it didn't happen. That moved on off to the east, and the Gulf is just wide open to come up into this thing.
And I will show you that here in just a minute on the Earth thing. But anyway, here's again, these times, I don't know. They're
really approximate. They're pretty wide too.
Yeah. So 9 to 2 a.m. in our area here of Western Kentucky, but I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't start a little earlier than that, especially if you get discrete supercells out ahead of it that would actually move in beforehand. So about Guthrie, it'd be probably the closer to, who knows? It could be, if I had to guess, I'd say by around 11.
Be ready by 11 at least, because it's going to come to that point sometime between 11 and 5 a.m.
And then if you go into the morning, Saturday morning, at 9 a.m. to noon, and that would be in Hopkinsville, Murray, Clarksville, Mayfield, even Paducah. All of us,
we're right on the edge of it again.
We are. So let me see what else we got here. Maximum wind gust. This is just plain old sustained winds. I don't buy all that either. Okay, it's nice. We got a wind advisory, just like you said, but it's 37 miles an hour. Why don't they say 40 or 35? Something to make. It's 37 makes my mind go.
It'll likely be close to 40.
Yeah, thank you. So
And in the
Shauna,
areas to our west over there with the different colors, it'll probably be closer to 45 to 50.
Shauna Miller says, I'm in Marshall County, can only eat through a straw, so I'm trying to blend up enough food to last me through the weekend. Well, good luck, Shauna. Hopefully the power will stay on and everything will be fine. We will get through it. We've been through severe situations like this before and we survived, so there's no reason to doubt that we will do it again. Dave, our good friend Dave up in West Virginia says, just left Bob Evans. Didn't hear your notification. Too busy eating. I like him
Here
a
we
lot.
go.
Here we go. Yeah. Susan Farah, she's watching, and Robert Stoward says, we still aren't talking about sustained wind system that came through a couple of Marches ago. I think that was 40-mile-per-hour sustained winds. And you're right. These winds are going to be absolutely outrageous.
Yeah.
Especially.
They are talking about sustained winds for this, 20 to 30 mile an hour. And then gusts 40 to 45 to 50. And that's outside thunderstorms. Inside thunderstorms or with severe storms, yeah, it's going to be really damaging.
So that's part of what we're saying. Let's go to Zoom Earth. And I want to look here. I will show you what we're talking about. Here's that storm here to the south, and it's gone off to the east. We're up right here. I'll come in a little bit. And I want to look at the wind fields. And if you look at this flow up out of the Gulf. It has not changed anything. Over here, you can see it's kind of cut off, but right here it comes, and it gets stronger as this moves on towards the east. This will increase our dew points. And you remember the dew point of 58 degrees. It's what's going to be the threshold for severe weather, severe storms. So right now, these winds, like I said, they're out of the south, southeast, and it's coming straight off the Gulf of Mexico. I don't know, Mark. I just don't see. But if you look out here to the west, oh my goodness, look at this.
That is the storm that's coming at us.
Yep.
To bring us our potential for severe weather. It's just getting into the Rocky Mountains on the west side of them real good right now.
And there you can see it. You see this little cluster of storms here off in eastern Tennessee and a little bit down here along the Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee border. This one's nothing much to speak of. It's not changing the flow of moisture in from the Gulf, and that's what we're concerned about. Looking to see if there's anything else out here. If I probably need to go back to the wind fields, and here's another pretty good storm. This will be coming into us about a week from now, right, Mark? I think we got another coming in.
Yeah.
So
our next potential for storms or anything else like that will probably be toward the end of next week.
So we're just, like I said, we're just getting into the severe season, and I do think that there's a very good chance that we will have another severe event. It looks like is about a week from now once this gets over with. So don't feel like that this is going to be so bad that we're not going to survive it. It's not that way at all. We will survive this. We may get some damage, may not. We may get through it all and nothing happen. So anyway, Terrell Harris says, bring your soda, your coffee in for a ride. I'm afraid to say anything about that one. What are you talking about, Terrell?
Bring your soda because your coffee's in for a ride trying to keep you.
Okay, I got you. Now I follow you.
Yeah.
Tom Luckett, what's the timing tomorrow? Well, for everybody who is either just joining us, the timing is going to be, I'd say, after 7 p.m. anywhere in Western Kentucky. I think that's a good shotgun way to go. The Weather Watcher says, you guys ready for tomorrow? I am. I hope we are, Weather Watcher.
We're as ready as we can be.
Yeah, there's not much we can do otherwise. But I'm going to take a look at some of the cameras around the area and let's see how they're looking. So here is Russellville, Kentucky. And Russellville, this camera is looking towards the west-northwest. Yeah, that's exactly right. And so as we watch this, we should see some storms coming in here, but these would be after it gets past us. So we'll see. 77 degrees there, so we've got a really nice evening out. I do want to look down here. Let's look at this storm right here is looking a little stout. Let's see if we got a camera on it. Jamestown, Tennessee. And there it is. There's some rain, heavy rains right there. Doesn't look like it's too windy. And it is 66 degrees, I think, with the rainfall in the area. I do want to go down here to Irwin, Tennessee, like we always do, and take a look at what it looks like there on Pinnacle Tower. And this is Irwin, Tennessee right here. We're looking out across the mountains. This is a fire lookout tower. You see the traffic moving good on the interstate, so no major problems there. It looks like the winds are fairly calm. And it's 64 degrees, so still pleasant. And here is Burnsville, North Carolina. And they are not up. There it is. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's go back. You see why it's called the Smoky Mountains. Look at that. But it's a beautiful shot. Somebody's done taken off in the airplane. There was an airplane parked right here. Somebody done took off in it.
Yeah, that little private jet was gone. I noticed that this morning. He probably got out of Dodge while he could.
Yeah. So that looks like that camera's getting ready to fail. We'll get on off there for right now. So,
and Dave, midnight for you. You're not actually in any of the outlined areas for tomorrow. Your weather comes in on Saturday. You are under a slight risk, probably for Saturday midday on.
Right. This is a look at Putnam County, Tennessee, EMA. You see it is raining. Yeah, they're getting some rain. There's a little bit, I guess, Virga back here, and 61 degrees. So there's some scattered showers around down here from that little system to the south. But again, back here is where we're concerned, because this is what's coming into our area, and it's nothing. So we're going to continue to get that flow. I do want to take a look here at Union City, Tennessee.
Yeah. Connie Chancellor, the wind advisory begins tomorrow at 1 p.m. And runs through Saturday morning at about 4 a.m. So there's that. That's when the highest winds will be going on as far as the gusty winds outside of thunderstorms. The actual thunderstorms won't be coming in till tomorrow evening.
Michael Willett says, David, is there going to be a squall line with this system Friday or not, or supercells? It'll definitely be both.
Probably both.
Yeah, I do think there will be some supercells out ahead of a strong squall line. But the thing of it is, the cold front, what our problem is, the cold front's going to slow down as it comes across our area, which means it's going to allow time for a low pressure to ride along that front up, which is going to give us our second round of severe weather. That's why that's coming in like that. We have the severe weather overnight with the cold front arriving and approaching, and supercells out ahead of it, and then it slows down as it gets into our area. So we may be in for an extended period of strong storms overnight, Friday night, get a little lull in the wee hours of Saturday morning, and then the low pressure rides along that front, and that's what brings us the next round of severe weather. Okay, so that might help explain a little bit better. Connie Pipes, anything for Logan and Warren County? Connie, you're in it just like the rest of us. You would be more late Friday night and early Saturday morning. You'll be the Saturday morning event, especially off over your way. The areas to the east is going to be a bigger Saturday morning event than the one Friday night. So maybe that helps you.
And plus you're going to be having it more in the afternoon, early evening time frame on Saturday. And also over that way, and for us here right along the Christian County area and to our southeast, we're calling for 2 to 3 inches of rain by Sunday out of this. So we could be looking at some potential flash flooding events as well.
Yeah, and that would be flash flooding. We've been dry enough now for several days that the soil will take that amounts fairly good. But when it comes down as hard and fast as that is, you could be looking at some flash flooding. Michael Willett says, thank you, brothers, and we appreciate you too, Michael. Any of you who want to join us, we would be glad to have the assistance. I think we've got a pretty good staff right now, but if you are interested in joining up with our teams and everything, you could come back tomorrow and we will try to get you an application and talk to you a little bit. And if we don't have enough people, we may put you to work. Who knows? But Katoja Harris, what's Princeton, Kentucky looking like, Mark?
Princeton, it looks like probably the same as most everybody else in the western half of Kentucky here. I don't really see anything that's going to make them any worse or any better than anyone else.
I think that'd be more an enhanced area too. Let me look. Let me look here and see and make sure. Yeah, I'm gonna. Let's see. Well, they would be in this moderate risk area. Just it catches the corner of it, of
Yeah,
Princeton.
right in the edge.
Yeah, let me see if I
So,
can. I'll turn on the counties here, and yeah, in fact, Caldwell County is the western part of Caldwell County is in that. So
hmm,
moderate risk, but you know what? It's like Jacob Gibson said a while ago. If you're near this moderate risk, you might as well say you're in it. You know, you're close enough that the storms don't know boundaries. This is just an outline of where the most is, but you know what? It doesn't really change as far as what that is. Solo Traveler 315 says, "Hey David, what time tomorrow would like to come by? Why don't you come by around 1 o'clock?" Is what I've told some of the other volunteers to come by around 1 o'clock, and Mark and I will be here, and we will uh, certainly show you around and see if you're interested. I think you will find this place very interesting. Robert Stewart, is there still blizzard conditions in the far northern edge of this system or no? Uh, I was looking at that earlier, Mark. I don't know if you saw
yeah,
anything on it, but it had to do with whether or not we get that moisture up here. The dew points is what we were talking
yeah,
about earlier. If the dew points get on up here and moves on into that area, yes, they will be certainly getting blizzard conditions. Francis
yeah.
Pidcock,
They do have a winter storm watch up in the areas around Minnesota, just north of Iowa and stuff like that already
okay,
on the backside of this. So,
right, right. Um, Let me come up here and see. Yeah, there's the winter storm watch area up here in these blue areas. You can see the winter storm watch, and so yes, there would be a serious amount of snow, and they're talking about a huge amount. I think did I see 20 inches or something somewhere, Mark?
highlight it, and you can read it.
That'd be too easy. Let's see here. Whiteout conditions are possible and may make travel treacherous and potentially life-threatening. And I don't know if you've ever been in a whiteout, but that is something that makes you feel like you're suffocating. I've actually been in one, and I mean, I don't care nothing about going back into a
Yeah.
whiteout. I like snow, but not like that. Uh, Winds up there could gust as high as 60 miles an hour, and they're looking at some locations getting as much as 8 inches of snow accumulation in that area. So we will see. That's going to be a mighty big snowstorm for those areas. Um, there's just a lot of things in this weather that is going kind of wild. Let me see who this is. I don't know who.
That's Vince Whaley.
Oh, okay, Vince.
He's the
And,
one with See the Storm. So
and I think
he's heading south from his hometown, his home base up there, to
this
come
is.
down to get in front of this stuff.
I don't know who this one is. It just says Brooklyn, Wisconsin. See the storm.
That's
Uh,
his home.
oh, that's
That's
his.
where he's
Okay.
from.
All
Okay.
right. Let's see here. I'm looking for Brandon Kopic. I don't see him up there anywhere right now. Did you see him on anywhere earlier today?
No, I saw one of the storm chasers way up along the Canadian border, but he wasn't transmitting picture or anything. He was just on
Okay.
his way somewhere, I think.
So we're going to keep an eye on some of these guys. This is where is this? This is Burlington, Kansas. So beautiful day in Burlington. It's almost 80 degrees there, so you can see it's still some warm conditions out here. We have a couple of severe storms down here in northern Alabama, and this is part of that system we were telling you about earlier. But it is rapidly moving on east out of the way. I don't see any cameras up here where I can get a shot of those severe. Well, maybe this. I'll see what this one looks like. No, this is Marshall DeKalb Electric Co-op in Boaz, Alabama. Kind of a nice shot, though. But you can see there's a storm
Yeah.
back off over here. You see the tops of them. Yeah, it looks like it could have an overshooting top there. So, anyway, kind of a neat way to do. I like to look at these cameras because they have all kinds of neat stuff to see and to see these places actually live. So, okay, so what we're going to be watching for tomorrow, we're going to watch this area right here in Dyersburg, and we're going to watch
Hmm.
pretty much this whole area right here because these storms will likely, when they occur and are very severe here in Dyersburg,
Yeah.
we'll get them here in
They will
Huntley.
be moving from southwest to northeast, and they
And
will be moving fast.
yep. And so if you're out in those, we're having to caution our spotters to, when we tell them to move, they need to move and move right then. No waiting around, because these things are going to move fast enough that you won't have a lot of time to respond. Chris Meacham says, hopefully the rain will wash the pollen down some and calm his sinuses away. I think everybody's like that.
Yeah.
John Bruce Ferguson says it's 86 in east central Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Uh,
Our high tomorrow here is actually forecast to be 81.
yeah, that's
So that's a lot of heat and a lot of humidity coming up our way.
right. Frances Pidcock, I meant to talk about this while. She says she's very scared of this. Way too many close calls for here. Francis, I understand what you're saying, and don't think this doesn't concern us as well. Uh, but we're not going to panic over it. It is what it is. It is a severe event, and in all likelihood, we're all going to survive this just fine, because we've been through severe storms before. We've actually been through high risk before, and it still came out okay. So there's no
Mm-hmm.
reason to doubt that we won't come out okay on this. And if you stop and think about it, what are your chances actually of being hit by a tornado? Really, what are they? Because
Yeah.
tornadoes are relatively small in area. At the most, the
Even the
largest.
biggest ones are,
Yeah,
a mile across.
yeah.
And
So
as long as it's not like the tri state tornado of 1925 that goes from Missouri through Illinois into Indiana, or
right,
the December 21 tornado that went from the Kentucky Tennessee border all the way up to Rough River, then, they're fairly short lived and fairly short area that they usually affect.
yeah.
The straight line winds may be as much or more of a danger with these, because if that squall line gets going, that whole squall line could be producing winds above 70 miles an hour.
And the thing to remember, again, because of its small area in nature, the chance of you getting hit by one directly is, you know, it's fairly low.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Karen Rainwater says, traveling tomorrow, what time will it be at Dyersburg? Well, Karen, that's difficult to tell you right at the moment. What I was
Yeah,
saying is that's going to be an area we're going to be watching for supercells to get into, and that's when we know that the areas to the northeast are going to be in line for it.
yeah. I would say 7 p.m. or later, probably
Mm-hmm.
closer to 9.
Yep. Kelly Christensen says, what's the timing on this? I'm going to be coming from Lexington to Eddyville. I've been up here in training. Yeah, Kelly, I wouldn't waste a whole lot of time getting back. If you plan it right, hopefully you can get out of there a little early and get back by 7 p.m., I would say. You will probably be okay, but check ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, if you are able to get YouTube on your phone, you'll be able to check in with us, because by that time, I'm sure we're going to be broadcasting. I don't know, Mark, what time are we planning? I think we're going on probably, around 7-ish maybe?
Yeah, depending on exactly what the storms are doing and what the weather's doing, we may be, somewhere between 5 and 7, I'd say.
And it's possible we'll come on a little earlier to give you a quick update and then go off and finish our reorganization of all the units and stuff we're going to have. And then we'll come back on for the full-scale event as it happens, and we will let you know about that as well. I will certainly do a Facebook update tomorrow, so that will give you some heads up as well. So as I said, don't overthink this and don't panic. Yes, it's something to be concerned about, but if you're an adult, you want to make sure that the children that you might have in your household don't become scared. Uh, if you have animals that are frightened in storms, in which some of us do, I've got a cat that is absolutely scared of storms, and so they want to be held and things like that, and I can't help it. I like the cat, but anyway, sometimes you can play music that'll help calm them so that they can't hear the thunder. But it's going to shake your nerves a little bit on this one, because the winds are going to sound horrendous out there. If you waken in the middle of the night and you hear a storm raging outside, yeah, you're going to be concerned. But we're going to do our best.
Absolutely.
If we're able to stay on the air, then we will do our best to let you know what's going on. If we're not on the air, then at the very least I'll try to get on my Facebook and do a live on that and let you know what's happening. So we'll see. Lisa Taylor, what about Logan County? When do you expect storms to be in the area? We all need to pray for safety, and I would agree with that 100%, Lisa. I think still it's not much difference anywhere. I must say anytime after 7 p.m. across the region. Anything because you could get discrete supercells develop out ahead of the squall line or the cold front, and so that would change the timeline on everything. So just so you know, that's what we're looking at. We've got our spotter chaplain's going to be here, and we got some another chaplain that's going to be here to assist our teams as they get ready to go out and face these monsters. Because don't think that they go out there lightly. They know what they're doing, and they're doing it for you, because it's the way they're going to be able to get information back to us in a timely fashion. We'll get that information to the National Weather Service, and they'll issue the warnings in a timely fashion. So anyway, Leslie Taylor says, I'm going to need some anxiety meds. Not kidding, though. Leslie, I understand. I don't know what I can do to help you on that. I wish I could make you feel better. But like I said, don't get overly panicked about this. We're going to get through it just fine. It's going to be rough. It's going to sound worse outside. Might even get some damage. But you know what? We can survive damage. I'm pretty comfortable that hopefully we have no loss of life. But it's important that you do follow the warnings. If you get warnings out, don't run outside to look at them. That's the worst thing you could do. And I saw someone earlier today, I was talking to them on a messenger, and they said, well, we usually get under a overpass. Worst thing you could do. Don't get under an overpass, please, because
that acts as a wind tunnel. It makes the wind even more intense, and it will suck you out from under those beams.
Sure will. So just follow your safety rules. Angie says, my anxiety is creeping up some. I'm not liking this. Angie, I'm trying to tell you it's going to be okay, and it is. We're all in this together. All of you who are on here, we're all what we call Thunder Buddies. And so
that's right.
We're glad to have you with us. We're going to do our best to keep you informed so that you don't get worried about everything. Sherry Wells says, thank you, David, for the number for the storm shelters. I'm going to give them a call. Be sure. I talked to those guys today who said anybody that calls them for a storm shelter, if you mention Weather and Wisdom, you're going to get $200 off. So the Weather and Wisdom is the code you say to them, and they will give you $200 off the price of the storm shelter. And I think that's a great deal. Those guys are so busy right now. Let's take a look at that real quick. What would you do when severe storms with tornadoes threaten you and your family? If you have planned properly, you will have a storm shelter nearby that is strong, safe, and will save your family's life. Mid-South storm shelters provide just that. They blend well with the landscape and are proven lifesavers. When the weather gets severe, have no fear with a Mid-South storm shelter. Call today at 270-725-6020. And as I said, when you call them, you'll probably talk to Pete, mention the promo code Weather and Wisdom, and you will get $200 off the price of a storm shelter. And they are busy right now. Folks have been calling them right and left. They are really booming. They've got some top-notch storm shelters. Everybody that's on here that has bought one has said that they really loved them. So that would be a good thing. Besides that, you can stop and think about this. If they open storm shelters somewhere, even if it's just a few miles from you, stop and think about it. You're going to have to travel there to get to them. And in the middle of the night, wouldn't it be nice to be able to just walk outside or get to the storm shelter you have right there on your own property and get right into it, and you're safe as you can be? And I'm telling you, they have held up. I've seen some pictures. They're sending me some more stuff. We're going to be doing a new commercial, and they got some other things in mind. But believe me, these guys are top-notch. I can't say enough good about them. And everybody I've talked to is very happy with their work. I wouldn't have them on here if they weren't good. And I really do appreciate those boys. They know what they're doing. So give them a call there, 270-725-6020. And I got to tell you something else. you're going to have Michael Vance at some point. If you've got these winds this high, you're going to have some roof damage. Be sure and call Michael Vance Contracting Roofing at 270-707-ROOF. And here's why. He has teams waiting and ready to go. He's already preparing for this. Michael's a big supporter of this channel. He's helped us out a lot because he's community-minded. And he's got teams already prepared to go as soon as he gets the call from you. If you have any roof damage, call him, and they will definitely be on the way to you to give you some assistance, and he'll be able to tell you what you need. He also owns Lakeside Campground Marina. Don't forget to visit them at lakesidecampground.com. And let's see here. I want to look at, okay, Crystal Eden. She says, them storm shelters are worth every single penny. We brought one 5 years ago from Mid-South Storm Shelters, and it saved our lives last year. So there you go. There's right there is Crystal Eden, who actually has one of those storm shelters, and she is so happy with it. And I'm proud of you for giving that testimony, Crystal. Those boys sure deserve it. And again, be sure and call Michael Vance also if you have any roofing damage, because he's another one. I put my faith in them 100%. I wouldn't have them on here if they weren't really good at what they do. So the other thing is, we got to remember my good friend Katie Moyer. Love that woman to pieces. She is a card. I tell you, she's really good. But she's got some hemp salve that will really, really help you. Take a look at this.
Anytime my aches and pains act up, I always reach for Kentucky Hip Works Hip Root Salve. It's easy to use. Just rub it on the affected areas and you will soon notice big relief. You can use it as a moisturizing lip balm or ointment that heals and protects your lips during adverse weather conditions and helps with preventing chapped lips. This amazing Kentucky Hemp Works salve is available in our online store at dpww.shop. Order today.
And you saw a glimpse of Katie in that shop there. She's so much fun. I love talking to her, and she's going to be joining us some as time gets closer. May even come down for our severe event. We'll see. But you can get some of that hemp root salve there at the online store, dpww.shop. She sold a bunch of it, and a lot of folks are happy with it. I'm for one of them. I've actually used it myself, and it does help. So be sure and patronize those folks. Don't forget the promo code Weather and Wisdom for the storm shelter guys, and you will certainly be benefiting from Weather and Wisdom. So there you go. All right, back to the back to the weather.
Meanwhile, Taylor, back on the screen.
Leslie Taylor says, I need to get one. That would help my anxiety know I was in one. You know, it would. I mean, what is the price for peace of mind? I don't think they're overly expensive. I'm not sure. I guess it depends on the size and everything as to the price. But apparently, a lot of people like them and they buy them. So they must not be outrageously priced. I would say they're reasonably priced. Give those guys a call and they'll help you. But mention that promo code so you can save you some money at the same time. Those guys are just so tickled with being on here and being able to get some exposure to the folks who really need those storm shelters. Shelley Workman says, I had to tell my son that you have your nose of the vehicle into the wind to be able to keep from overturning the vehicle. That's absolutely right. Shelley has learned something. I taught her well.
Now that's straight line winds. If it's a tornado, get away from it.
Yeah.
Because, winds, I don't care how much you try to face your nose into the wind. Those winds are going around in a circle too fast and changing too much for that to help you much.
Yeah. So, but I'm glad I taught her something. That makes me feel good. Let's see here. So, well, we've been on for almost an hour now. We wanted to give you this information. The latest we have is that, yes, there is a moderate risk now posted for parts of the area. A lot of us are under the enhanced risk, and there's even more under the slight risk. We're going to be in for a good, I don't know, probably a 20-hour severe event, I think, Mark.
Yeah, I was going to say at least 12, if not closer to 18 to 20.
Yeah, so that is one of those things that we're going to have to face. We're going to get through it. Always remember that. This is not going to be a life or death situation. Not if you follow the proper safety precautions. if you take cover in your house, be sure and take cover in an interior room. In other words, a room that doesn't have any walls that faces the outside.
Yeah.
A lot of times a hall closet would be a good one, so that you go in there
Yeah.
and there's walls all the way around you. And
Yeah. The more walls between you and the outside, the better.
that's right. So let's see here. Michael Willett says, Mark, David, will storms weaken as we lose daytime heating? You may have answered that, but I was off. Michael, under normal circumstances, you would think that's the case, and a lot of times it is true. But this is such an intense system. It doesn't appear that anything can weaken it much. Like Mark said, the biggest thing would be the cutoff of the Gulf moisture, and that doesn't appear that it's happening. It's not going to happen. So, yeah, we're just going to have to deal with it. I don't think the time of day is going to make a whole lot of difference. It will help some maybe, but nothing like we would love for them to. I do want to ask you also, if you have not subscribed to this channel, it's really important that you subscribe to us, because that's what's enabling us to bring you the technology with this radar and all different kinds of things, the information we're getting out. But the radar, you will see, we can do a lot of things with it. And I will show you a little bit about it real quick while we're on here. Let's just go down here to these severe storms. I can go in here and we can go real deep. I can show you houses. There's the streets, but if we go a little closer, you start seeing these little buildings. These are buildings. And so we can tell you that this area right here, this is along Andrew Jackson Highway. In fact, if I go even closer, I can get house numbers. And it tells me what the weather is like at a particular address, which I think that's pretty neat. I like this thing because it has so many features and we have so much ability with this. And then if we get down into the tropical season, I can go down here into the Gulf and we can see, like, say, for instance, this right here is a buoy out in the ocean. I can click on that and we can get a 360-degree view of the ocean around it. And it tells us what the wind speed is there. We can tell us what the air temperature is and the sea surface temperature. Everything we need to know. And we need a sea surface temperature of, what was it, Mark, 75?
75 or higher.
Yeah.
It's closer to 80, the better.
Yeah, for tropical development. So Tara O'Hare wants to know, will you cover New Jersey? If you have a request for New Jersey, I can go up here and find it. And I think, let me see here. I got to remember where New Jersey is. Am I looking at it? I think it's right here, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I'm on the wrong spot, just tell me. But yeah, I can cover New Jersey. If you give me a town and I can actually go to it and we can look at the weather right there. You also see other buoys nearby. Here's a buoy off the coast of that, and we can see that there's a little choppy, but nothing too bad. And the reason it's choppy is because we have 25-mile-an-hour wind gust, and it's 42 degrees though, so it's chilly ocean right there. That's called the cold North Atlantic, and it is chilly. But yeah, we can do a lot of things with this, Tara. And if you ever want something like that, we will try to give you some help and let you know what it looks like. Chelsea Reese says, "Hey friends, I'm late again." You sure are. Caleb Eaton says, "How are things looking? Just popped on." Well, Caleb, it's not looking good. I tell you.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Shelley Workman, real quickly, if it's straight line winds, like a line of thunderstorms coming at him, yeah, go ahead, nose into the wind. If it's a tornado, like I said, get out of the way.
And if you can't get out of the way, look for a ditch, anything to get in underground, a good highway
Lower
culvert.
ground level a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, if you can get below ground level, the better off you'll be. And that's hard to do. Janice Scholler, where can we go see the storm shelter shop in Hopkinsville? Well, the Mid-South Storm Shelter is actually located in Russellville, which is only about 30 minutes away. And they are doing a lot of work here in Christian County and all the surrounding other counties. I know they've built several up in Hopkins County and I think some in Muhlenberg. So the guys have a good reach. and they are very trustworthy and very dedicated to what they do, and that's what I like about them. So Janice, you might call them. They can probably show you some places that has them if you want. So give them a call at that number I had on the screen a minute ago, and they can be glad to show you some, I'm sure. Shelley Workman, is this going to cover Northwest Arkansas? Got kids living there or looking there? But anyway, Northwest Arkansas. So
Yes,
yeah,
I believe so.
yeah, it's going to be in the middle of it. I'll go back one more time to the storms prediction.
They'll be in the enhanced, and the very corner of Northwest Arkansas, or of northern Arkansas, over on by the Missouri Boot Heel, will be in the moderate. Northwest Arkansas is just in the farther you go west, the more you kind of get out of it.
More marginal risk, yeah.
Yeah.
Siloam Springs, Mark. Let's see if I can.
Siloam Springs, New Jersey? Or no, they were looking.
Arkansas.
Okay. For Terra, for New Jersey, they're going to be having highs in the middle to upper 50s. Sunday, it should be up in the upper 60s, but they do have rain coming in. They're not really looking for too much in the way of storms, I don't think, but they are looking for rain. And then overnight lows starting off in the middle 30s and then getting back down in the middle 30s by Monday night. After in between, it'll get up into the middle 40s for lows.
And here's Siloam Springs in western Arkansas, to the northwest or directly west of Springdale. And it's right on the Arkansas, what is that, Oklahoma's border? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they're kind of in the marginal to just general thunderstorms.
Yeah, they're
so
going to be okay.
Hopefully, by the time everything gets to ripping and roaring, it'll be past them.
Steve Brown says, "Can I cancel delivery? I decided I don't want the weather." I wish it was that simple. Believe me, Steve, I really do.
I'm sorry. It's when people in the middle of winter say, "Man, I wish it was warmer." And I always tell them the request has been filed, but there's a 6-month delay.
Yeah. So again, I wish these things were a little different, and maybe we'll wake up in the morning, they will be different. I don't know. I can tell you that in situations like this, we've been through them before. We've always come out fine, and we will see how it does. I know that right now the lake waters are still cold, so that will be a little bit of a factor as storms come across those lake waters. They're not going to be intensified. That's coming across these lakes because the lake water is cold, and therefore it doesn't feed any moisture or heat up into the storms. Now, if it was later in the season and these waters were warm, then yeah, it'd have just the opposite effect. They would actually increase the storms as they come across them. So, another little tidbit you're learning as as you travel along our world of weather with us. So now you know to nose your vehicle into the wind if it's a strong wind coming at you, and also that the lakes do affect our weather here some. So Steve said hello to Tara, so I guess they know each other anyway. All right, Mark, do we have anything else we need to discuss? Are we good?
I don't think so. I think we're good.
So we got Connie Pipe says, it looks to me Humphreys, Missouri is in the bad weather. My other family lives there. What do you all think? Let's see, Humphreys, Missouri. Let me see if I can find that on here real quick. Humphreys.
If it's anywhere in the eastern half to or so of Missouri, it's going to be in the worst part of it.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's right. Give me an idea what area of Missouri that is located in, and we'll go down and take a closer look at it, unless I find it before you're able to do that. Humphreys, Missouri. So far, no sign of it. I didn't realize Missouri was so big. It is kind of big.
It is. Believe me, you don't realize it till you drive across it.
Yeah, she says north central Missouri. So let's see. That would be up around this way. Okay.
Yeah, if you go, if you go to the counties right along the northern border of Missouri, and you go down one tier, it's the fourth one back to the west from the Illinois border.
There it is. I found it.
Yep.
Humphreys, Missouri. Okay, yeah, they're going to be, that's right outside of Galt. Right here. So let me go out a little bit and
Yeah.
let's go to the Storms Prediction Center. And they're going to be in the enhanced risk, it looks like.
Yeah. Right at the edge of the moderate but in the enhanced. So as we said earlier, if you're right in the edge of the moderate, you might as well consider yourself to be in the moderate.
Correct. So that gives you an idea. Yeah, they're going to be under the gun too, Connie. Shelley Workman says it's supper time, and I kind of agree with her. My stomach growling. You know what I had to eat today? Do you know? Do you want to know?
What did you have?
I had hot dogs. Well, actually, I found this air fryer we had here. I don't know where it came from. I said, well, I'm going to pull this out and try it. So I took these hot dogs. I put a slab of cheese on a piece of light bread, and I wrapped the hot dog up in it and put it in the air fryer. And, well, I actually put a little bit of spicy dressing or something in there, just a little sliver. Wrapped it up, and I mean, it was some kind of good. It would make a bulldog break a log chain. It was really good to have something like that. Anyway, Steve Brown, Chris, I was going to go to our church, but now that Carson's in Auburn, he has a basement. He is only about 2 minutes away. Okay, that's a good idea.
Yep.
Connie Pipe says, okay, thank you, and you're welcome, Connie. Angela Bennett says, there's my area, Earlington. Earlington's going to be in it just like the rest of us, Angela. So, yeah, it's a be on your guard kind of time. Paul Rittenberry, is Dover, Tennessee getting rain this weekend? Absolutely.
Yep.
Dover is just slightly to the southwest of Hopkinsville. And, yes, you're going to have a potential severe event on Saturday, and it's going to be some pretty hefty rain. So, yes, you're going to get it. Mary Vorvis is laughing at us all because it's supper time, and she knows she heard my stomach growl. I know she did. But anyway, so everybody, I do appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and close for now, but we will be back on tomorrow. We'll try to do a brief update during the day tomorrow, Mark, I guess, and then give them an idea. All right, now Harley says she's going to Jersey Mike's for dinner. That is just wrong because I love the heated subs at Jersey Mike's. Now my stomach's really growling. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Harley. So, that does sound good for supper. Whew. Anyway, all right. Rita Taylor saying hi, David, and Allegra Pace, our good friend Allegra, says hi, David. Mark, will you have food for tomorrow night, and what is the staff numbers? We do have support staff coming in, and we've got some volunteers going to show up as well. As far as the numbers go, we're going to fluctuate because a lot of our people will be out in the field in the storms. But if we get a lull, we will call them in and feed them. What are the staff numbers? Oh, gosh. I guess probably here in the building, it would be at least 10 to 15, wouldn't you say, with the junior spotters?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. We got some pretty good numbers there now.
Yeah. So, but we're going to have probably more than that out in the field on storm intercepts, and you'll be able to see those live. And so Angela Bennett says, about what time is this going to start? Anytime after 7 p.m., Angela. And Harley says, they are delicious. She's just, my mouth's watering just because of her description of that. I am starving.
Yeah.
Shauna Miller says,
I think it's time to go.
Shauna Miller says, thank you both for easing my nerves some. And that's the whole purpose
Glad
there,
to do
Shauna.
it.
Yeah, we're glad to do that. But we're sincere about it too. It is nothing to get overly concerned about. Just prepare and be aware. And she says she works from 2:15 to 11 at night. So she'll be at working tomorrow afternoon till 11. And it's possible it don't get here till 11, Angela. We're just going to have to see how those storms develop. And Allegra Pace, will there be anyone there at lunchtime to drop food off for tomorrow night? Absolutely. We're going to be here for the duration tomorrow. I will be here probably around 9 a.m., and Mark will be here shortly thereafter, or maybe before. He might try to beat me, but I don't think so. He just can't do it. Steve Brown says, grilling fresh ground bacon and cheddar burger from the Hardison Farms here in Auburn. Steve, you're not
Boy, that
right.
sounds good.
Oh, it does. You're not right at all either. Shelley Workman says, thanks, guys. Emily Beth Moore, thank you, guys. Please stay safe. And I do pray that you all stay safe. That's the main thing. I don't want any of you to perish because you're my Thunder buddies, and we love you. And so, Mark, do you have any final words to say before we go eat?
Everyone, watch out for those gusty winds tomorrow afternoon, well out ahead of this. Stay safe, and if you've got anything outdoors, batten it down. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow.
And Rita Taylor says, David Mark, I just got my mother following you all. They're in Princeton. Be sure they subscribe too, Rita. That really does help if they subscribe.
Yep.
And Steve Brown says, so David, I'll go back and watch, but let's see here. The worst part is Saturday morning, right? For your area over there, yes, Steve. For us, it will probably be Friday night in Western Kentucky. So Rita Taylor says, be safe. Tammy Butler Gates says, please stay safe, guys, and we're going to do our best, and I hope you all stay safe. So with that, we're going to get on out of here, and we will see you again tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Whoa, let me see. National Weather Service Louisville says Saturday's threat will be conditional on the amount of shield convection. I hope the models continue to show it to keep South Central Kentucky somewhat out of a higher chance. And I agree with you.
We hope so, too.
I hope so, too. Nothing will make me more happier than to be wrong on this whole forecast, and all this will be for nothing. I promise you guys, it doesn't hurt my feelings to be wrong on something this serious. So we'll be praying for this to happen. Connie Pipes is praying for everyone again, and may God bless y'all. And Steve Brown says, we'll catch y'all tomorrow night, so get some sleep tonight. And Rita Taylor says, how do you subscribe? Go to the actual channel on YouTube, Rita. Do the search for Weather and Wisdom. You will see it pop up, and then under there you'll see where it says to subscribe, and that's where you can hit it. If you've never subscribed to anything on YouTube before, it may ask for your email address. It's okay to give it. There's no charge to it, and that's just so they can verify you as a real person, and you won't ever hear from them again. So, yeah, feel free to be able to subscribe to that, and it will help us immensely. So, again, thank you all so much, and I appreciate you. Rita says, okay, and I will talk to you and see you again tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, I didn't say, if I don't see you here, I'll see you here. Bye, Harley.